Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to another episode in Spakowa, Poland. So, I am currently working on the Harrow. Let's repair it. It's only 57 euros to fix it. Good. Now we're gonna take it away. And today is basically the day when we start putting some crops in the ground, which feels very exciting. Now, if I can find a place for this, I think it would be very nice. Somewhere under cover, where it's gonna be well protected from the weather and everything else. How does it look? Good, everything looks like it's working well. Our piggies, they also look to be pretty fine. They're consuming their feed very slowly, so it's a good thing. Alright, let's put it in here. And we're gonna have to actually move it out when we prepare for winter. Alrighty. So today we're putting technically four types of crop in the ground. One of that is gonna be wheat. Another is gonna be sorghum. Let me just check, I have it written down. Soybeans and potatoes. So yeah, as I stated previously, this is gonna be a seeding planting episode. We're gonna be putting life in the ground. Okay, let's lower this down. Let's see if I can open it from here. Good, I can. Alright. The next thing we need is our front-loaded tractor. Oh, I just remembered now while we're here, let me check the wine prices. So, grape. Okay, the price is still climbing. 3,049 for 1,000 liters. Perfect. And I did say I was gonna borrow the tractor from Mr. Antoni, and that is still part of the plan. But I just brought the seeder over since I was already there next to it. I gotta say that I'm enjoying my calm mornings very much. Really nice because you can actually relax and chill yourself. Alright, now how do I get that bag of seed out? Might be better if I go through the other side. Yeah, I've left this trailer directly in the way. Oh, gonna have to move it. Alright. This shed is probably not the best place to keep the barrel anyway, so I might have to have a think of where I want to keep it. Just so we don't have any problems in the future. Okay, I believe now we're gonna be able to actually extract that seed out of the shed. Doesn't feel to be the easiest jobs in the world. And I nudge it. Okay, okay. We turned it slightly. Get into that ear. Beautiful. Like a surgeon. I am a surgeon. I am a doctor. I never watched that show, but I did see some memes going around. Alright, let's top it up with some bags. We still have them on the shelf. Again, I have no clue how much we're actually gonna use, but let's say that it's better to be overly prepared and not have to use it than running out on the other side of the world. Alright, well, I do believe it's time for my car ride. First I want to walk over there. Yeah, such a beautiful, peaceful place. Alright, thank you kindly. Okay, so it was a quick coffee. Now I think we're ready to go. The keys are in the tractor already, so let's get it running. Still not as warm that I could be driving around with open doors. Yeah, I really wonder how this is gonna behave. It is a lot less futuristic than the Lambo is. But I don't know. I remember the sound of specifically this Zitter tractor from when I was young, and it kind of gives the nostalgic feeling, you know. It is a four-wheel drive tractor, so that's a good thing. And I do believe I'm gonna have to refuel it. And I still haven't set up the fuel tanker at the farm. So that means that I'm probably gonna have to go get a few fuel canisters, or maybe take the tractor directly there. But yeah, neighbors have been busy. You can see all the crops already growing. So yeah, we're kind of lacking, but I didn't want to start work until it was snowy on the ground and below zero, so freezing temperature, because it kind of didn't feel right to do that. Right, so the fields and how they're gonna have the crops in is as follows. This farm field over here is gonna have some wheat in it. Sorghum is going on the field over there. That was the one that we had split in two previously. And after that, soybeans are going on the new field next to our farm. Let's see if we can top it up, actually. We can. It was almost full. Good. So since there's rain forecasted, I am gonna put this back on the shelf. It should only be a short little shower, but yeah, still. Don't want to have all my seeds sprouting. Whoopsie. Realize I had my tines at such an angle. Okay. And the last field at the end, that's gonna be potatoes. Okay, so the weight is okay, it can handle it. All right. You know what? No, I changed my mind. This field over here is gonna be potatoes, because if we have potatoes on that large field, it's gonna be too much stuff to move. So let me put soybeans in that field over there, and let's put sorghum on there, and wheat over here. Yeah, okay. I gotta say, this tractor is a pretty comfortable one. It was known for comfort when it came out. Okay, PTO on. Let's set cruise control to 10. And let's start eating. Can't see if it's working, but let's just say it is. Oh yeah, there's another thing I read online, and that is when you are putting different crops, like for example wheat, in the ground, it's supposedly a good thing if you go over with the roller to push it down in the ground and seal the soil from losing too much moisture. So yeah, I might have a chat with one of the neighbors about this whole rolling thing, because I'm not familiar with it and I really want to make sure that I have the highest yield possible, because our fields are not very big, you know. Right. So the first observation I have about this tractor is that it's highly maneuverable. It really turns on a spot. You don't need a big place to turn around. I definitely need a bigger place to turn around when I'm in my Lambo. So that's the one thing that I see straight off. And you know, a shorter turning circle is always better, I believe. Or a tighter turning circle, that is. Well, I believe we are due for a few action shots, so let's go do that. And I'll tag back in when this field is over. Alrighty, coming towards the end of the field. Everything is going extremely well so far. At least I think it is. The field looks very nicely seeded, so I'll chalk that as a win. And again, this is not a very big field, but it should give us plenty of wheat for our needs. We mostly need straw from this field. Wheat is also going to be used as part of food for pigs, but that's not a lot. As you see, our pigs don't really consume much. So whatever we're gonna get out of this field should last for at least a year. And when I'm done with that, I can actually go ahead and sell the rye. Just right, wanna force it too much. And I also don't want to miss anything, so let's fix it. Another observation I have about this Zetor is that it seems to be pretty light, because it doesn't sink into the ground practically at all, which is another good thing, because you don't want to have too much soil compression because it can ruin your yield. Okay, let's get every little inch or square centimeter of the field as we possibly can. It's really difficult to see over this tent we have at the back. But yeah, it should be good. Alright, the headland is done and we are finished with our first wheat field of the season. Beautiful. Okay, so next on the agenda is... I gotta go refuel. That's next on the agenda. Okay, well, I'll see you at the fuel station and we'll check how much we actually put in. I'm guessing not a lot since the fuel gauge is going down pretty rapidly. Taking the back road in. Yeah, I'm glad I found this road because it's really scenic going through the forest like this. Oh, they're taking the combine away. Probably stored somewhere under cover. Alright, let's try and refuel it. Okay, 81 euros for refueling, and it does only have a 55-liter fuel tank, so yeah. It's not a lot in modern standards, but for the year that it was built in, this was a mighty tractor. Alrighty, so I had a bit of a chat down with Mr. Ben at the shop, and it turns out I can't use this seeder to put soybeans and sorghum in the ground. I have to have a planter, which is a different type of machine. He is getting something ready for me, but the difference is that when I use a planter it has a lot less seed capacity. At least the one that he has in stock. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do is, this is completely unforeseen, and I'm gonna take this tractor with the seed back to the farm. I'll unload it, and then I'll come back to the store, pick up the planter, go back to this field, and then I'm gonna run back home, get the seed, bring it over so I can refill on the spot. It's not optimal and there is rain forecasted, so I might have to wait until that's over because as I said, I don't want to get my seed wet and put it into the planter because then it's all gonna clog up and we're gonna have some issues. So yeah, an interesting turn of events. I don't know. I haven't checked before I started planning things if I can actually use this. It's either to put soybeans and sorghum in the ground, and it turns out that I can't. Alright, let me try and unload this in here so it's under cover till it needs to be recovered. Okay, perfect. Yeah, as you all know, I am still learning the ropes of farming because I ain't been doing this for long. And yeah, I'm trying to find information, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you can't really go out and learn before you need something. You just try to do it, and then it turns out you can't. And then you go and find solution for it, and yeah, that's pretty much how I'm handling things right now. And I do agree it's not the optimal way, but it's the only way I got. So yeah, I can leave the door open since it's a bit warmer now. Well, back to the shop. Alrighty, thank you, Mr. Ben. And this is our new planter. I straight up bought it. It is basically a very simple thing. You put your seed into these 4 compartments, and I had an additional fertilizer box put on, so I think it's gonna be good because we can do 1 fertilizer application as we are seeding. So yeah, why not? And that means that I'm gonna have to put some fertilizer in the box when I come to the farm. And that also means that I'm gonna be... Oh, what the good visibility this tractor has. Yeah, and that also means that I ain't gonna go to the field with seed first. I might have to come back to the farm every time and refill it. In any case, I have checked. See, I've learned my lesson. But I have checked if I can actually harvest soybean and sorghum with a regular grain header, and it turns out that I can. So yeah, that's a relief, because I was thinking that if I buy a harvester, I'm gonna also have to get some kind of a different header for harvesting these 2 crops. And it turns out that's not the case, which is a good thing. Alright, so let's see how this goes now. Yeah, I have my fingers crossed that it's gonna work as I am hoping it will. So yeah. I have also checked at how much horsepower we can actually get out of a Zetor like this, and the highest number, I think it's 81 horsepower. If we get the engine serviced and tuned a little bit, maybe get a new air intake and stuff like that. So yeah, it just might be a good tractor. It's not, you know, powerful to die for, metaphorically speaking. But it's not as weak as some other things can be around this farm. Alright, let's try and fill it up with seeds. And I have to go in the tractor and do it. Alright, so it holds 250 liters of seed. We have a bit more left on the actual pallet. And let's see how much solid fertilizer it's gonna take. No, 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 it's gonna fall. Alright, so we have 300 liters of solid fertilizer here in the bags. It might not be enough, it depends. Okay, we didn't even fill it up completely. That's fine. Let's just see how much fertilizer do we consume while seeding. Otherwise we're just gonna have to go and buy another pallet. As you can see, lack of information like this can really throw a wrench in your operation. Because you have to sort out all those unforeseen things that you could have sorted out before, but you didn't. Because you didn't know you need it. I have also checked the weather report and it says it's gonna be sunny until evening, so I do believe we have plenty of time to do all the work we need to. Yeah, I really wonder. There are bigger planters than this, with huge hoppers, but they require a lot more horsepower and a lot more weight on your tractor, so I kinda opted out of that. But the width of the planting area should be pretty much similar to what we have in our other machine. Okay, so here we are. This is gonna be sorghum field, and the big one at the end is gonna be a soybean field. Alright, seems to be working. What's the rate of the consumption? Oh. It's not tremendously high, but it's still not extremely low. I do think we're gonna have to get another pallet of solid fertilizer. The seed, on the other hand, is going down extremely slowly. So it looks like we're gonna be fine in the seed department. Good. Just a tiny little bit left on this field. I have to finish it off over here, and we use practically half of what we put in terms of fertilizer. So I don't know if the next field is bigger than this one, then we don't have enough fertilizer in our hopper to actually finish it off. But we're also not far away. And the seed consumption was practically abysmal. So yeah, we have almost full seed hoppers, which is good. I was kind of expecting it was gonna go down quicker, but I must have my information about the corn, because corn has quite a bigger seed than sorghum does. So it's kind of expected that it's gonna use more or go down quicker. But we'll see. Soybeans might be a bigger type of seed, so it might mean that we're gonna have to go and refill the seeder. Or maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think this fertilizer is gonna last us. Right, just this headland, and then we can call the sorghum field finished. I do have to check and read if this one also needs some rolling. I wouldn't think so, but you never know. Yeah. I'm kinda on the verge of, not trusting anything I know anymore. So yeah, technically, if we would have a full fertilizer hopper, we could finish the whole field, both fields, that is. Because we only had around 70%, I think. It was 300 liters. So that additional 30% would probably make it full enough, or have enough of this so we could actually do it. Alright. Soybeans, here we come. Good, so this is the field with a nice little seed bed we prepared previously. So let's see how fast the consumption of soybeans is. Yeah, it feels like pretty much the same as it was before. Good. So the rain actually came. Who would have thought? Yeah, but the main weather forecast did not show any rain, so I am kinda surprised. Might have to set up a weather station. Yeah, in other news, we are slowly running out of fertilizer. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna go and visit the great uncle in the nursing home, and then I'll go to the shop and refill the fertilizer. Then we're gonna finish this field, and after that I still have the potatoes to put in the ground. So yeah, quite a busy day. Alrighty, 480 euros for 250 liters of fertilizer. Let's try and dump it all in. Yeah, this should keep us happy for a while. At least until the end of the sowing session. Yeah, the great uncle is feeling fine, by the way. He has stabilized. He had a few rough months in between, but yeah, he's feeling better now. But on the other hand, looking at the time, I do believe I'm gonna be putting potatoes in the ground next time. Because I still wanna make sure that this tractor is all cleaned up, refueled, and returned back to its owner, back to Mr. Antoni, in a good manner of time. Alrighty, so only the headlands left and we are practically done. And judging by the amount of seed left in the hoppers, soybeans are getting used up faster than the sorghum did. As expected, of course. I did say it could happen because soybeans are quite a bit larger than sorghum is. So yeah, I do think this is the last pass, and then we only do the last headland at the end of the field and we're done. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results. But it is gonna have to get checked if we need to roll sorghum and soybeans. But otherwise, yeah. So I'm kind of expecting this episode to run extremely long, which might be the reason why I do the potato planting in the next episode, even though I'm not sure what kind of work awaits us for the next one. We might be in the need of starting to make some hay. So to cut the grass, cut it, bale it, get it off the field. That's also a very time-consuming operation. So yeah, if we have all that needs taken care of, and if we have to do some animal work, then I don't know. I'm really thinking of putting potatoes in the ground off screen, or maybe just show a few action shots and that's it at the end of this episode. Yeah, there's always so much to do, and there's so much that I want to show, and there's so much that I want to share with you that it kind of leaves us with pretty bad options in the end. So I have to choose what I'm gonna cut out, what I'm gonna show you, and I would like to show you everything. That's the problem. There's not enough time for that. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this, do the potato planting in this one, and I'll just show you the end result and a few action shots, and that's gonna be it. Otherwise, yeah, the whole thing is gonna last for way too long. Okay, dropped everything. So this new machine is gonna be home in practically the same place as our seeder is, and yeah, I'm gonna have to refill the newer pit. Like a glove. Perfect. And I do believe I'm gonna use this tractor to put potatoes in, even though it might be a bit too wide, and I'm gonna drive over the existing or already planted lanes. But I'm willing to take that risk. There's only a seed bag outside. Must have lost the fertilizer somewhere. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna fit the tractor in. Alrighty, change of plans. We wash the Zetor down. We go and refuel it, return it, and then when I come back I'm gonna use the small vintage Zetor to do the potato planting as we have before. Yeah, otherwise a very solid tractor, and I've been checking at the prices. I think it's under 20,000, so I might just go out and get it because it's a cool little vehicle. Right, another 40 euros for the fuel, and now let's get back. And now I'm gonna take a shortcut because I can come straight into Mr. Antoni's farm if I go here to the right and use the dirt track to get to his place. In the end, I do think I'm gonna get this tractor. And since they're not so expensive, I will keep the Lambo just in case this one can't perform. Yeah, but it's a good vehicle. And as I've said, very nostalgic. Already see Mr. Antoni's farm. Even the horn works. To let myself be known. Nice. Alright, and we're back where we started today. Except we now have a whole lot of fields that have been nicely seeded and planted. And for the final act for today, let's get this baby rolling. Man, I'm so tired. I can barely keep awake. Right. Yeah, the maneuverability of this tractor is unparalleled. I think the only more maneuverable thing would be if we would actually have the four-wheel steering tractor, which I have heard you can buy in certain places. Alright, so this is gonna be it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun. I hope you suffered with me through all the problems, shenanigans, and everything else related to what was happening today. So join us next time where we continue with the adventure on this farm. And take care and goodbye.